What's up, guys? I'm back. I know it's been far too long, and I have a lot to update you guys on. But first, I got this box. Let's check it out. So today, I want to show you a bunch of the updates that I have, show you kind of a montage of what I've been working on over the last 8 months. But first, let's check out this box. All right, got some brand new tires here. And I know what you guys are thinking, JP, why do you need new tires? It's not like you've even been flying your plane. And didn't you just put brand new wheels on it with new tires anyways? And you would be right. And I got a whole story on that for a later video. But basically, I had an emergency landing and now we need new tires. So these tires are actually mostly going to be spares in case I have another mishap. I'm actually just here at a kind of a random airport. This is where I emergency landed at. It really wasn't a big deal. I'll tell you guys more about it in a later video. This is not the right video for it. What I want to show you guys today are all of the cool upgrades I made to the plane. But first, let's do a cold start. LS1-swapped airplane. Let's go. Now, I know you guys have been waiting for this for a really long time, and most of you don't even think this thing runs. So I'm here to prove all the naysayers wrong. Hold on, this is gonna take a while. I gotta undo the straps. Clear prop. Now let me give you a tour of the LS1-swapped airplane. Got my logo right here. I think that's really sick. Some kid cut it for me right before LS Fest, so shout out to you, man. Thank you. All right, guys. So by now you guys have all seen the Cleetus McFarland video of the LS1-swapped RV-7A, and I know you guys all want more updates, so here it is. I've been up to a lot this year. I actually took the plane to LS Fest West in Las Vegas earlier this year, so for everyone I saw there, what's up? Thanks for stopping by again. I finished doing the instrument panel. We rewired the entire airplane, and now go check it out. All right, so coming up to it, you can see kind of looks like we're missing some things right here. These are actually just OtterBox mounts for the iPad. Originally, when I was making this carbon fiber panel, my goal was to recess them into the panel. I tried that a couple times and my carbon fiber skills are just not there, so I didn't end up doing that. But let's talk about all this. Let's talk about what it is and how I run the airplane on just the iPads. But first I want to talk about this AiM screen right here. So this is the AiM 10-inch dash display, and it is connected to this AiM PDM right here. So that's called a AiM PDM32, and basically what it does is it gets rid of all of the circuit breakers, it gets rid of all the relays, and it gets rid of all of the fuses, and it turns them into solid state. You can program them to automatically reset if you want, and it also just simplifies the wiring, makes it a lot lighter. So by putting that PDM in here, I saved probably close to around 7 pounds. I have a bucket of all the old circuit breakers and the old switches that were in here, and just the circuit breakers and the switches alone weighed close to 10 or 11 pounds. This AiM PDM only weighs much less than that, probably like 2 pounds if that. So this is a Blink Marine 8-button CAN keypad. I'll show you guys what I have programmed to that. This is my master switch. So this switch right here turns on the PDM, and then this can connect and disconnect my alternator. I have 2 EarthX batteries in this thing. And basically each EarthX battery can run the plane for 30 minutes before failure. And that's with every single thing on. That's with both of my fuel pumps on, that's with the radio on. That's also including charging the iPads. In theory, if I did have an emergency like that, I could unplug the iPads because the iPads have their own battery. And I tested this going up and down, taxiing around, making radio calls, and just one battery can last 30 minutes. I have 2 of them, so that's an hour of flight time, which truthfully, I rarely ever fly this. I shouldn't say that. I do fly over an hour, but I have 42 gallons of fuel on board. I can, in theory, fly for about 3.5 hours. I'm not fully sure what my exact fuel burn is, but so far we're averaging around 10 gallons an hour, really less than that. I like to overestimate. I control the batteries through this knob right here. Sorry about all these straps. Anyways, I can turn the battery here. I can choose battery 1, I can choose battery 2, or I can choose both. When I'm flying, I always have it on both, but before I take off, it's a part of my checklist to check each one individually. Let me talk about these EarthX batteries again, because I think they're really, really cool. I'm sure there's other really good lithium-ion batteries out there, but the EarthX batteries, and again, not a paid product placement, just a product I'm a fan of. Their customer service is great. But they have a little computer controller in there, which, let's say I'm parked somewhere and I'm just hanging out with people, but I want to charge my phone, charge the iPads or whatever. I can leave the power on and I can turn it to, let's say, battery 2, and I could drain battery 2 if I want to. But what's cool about the EarthX batteries is that it'll only drain so much and then it'll shut off, and then it'll always keep enough cold cranking amps to start your motor again. So it'll shut off, it'll go through a reset process, and then when you turn the power off and then turn the power back on, the battery will have enough power to crank the engine, which is a really cool feature of the EarthX batteries, and I really like that. Not probably something I'll ever use since I have 2 of them. If I do pull over into a field or something, or just hanging out at the airport and I want to charge my phone, my iPad, or whatever, I can just turn it to battery 2 and I can just let it have at it, and if it drains, it drains, and then I know that it has the battery protection, so it's not going to drain so much that it's going to, 1, damage the battery, or 2, I won't be able to restart the engine. So that's a really cool feature. Right here you can kind of see these are analog instruments. I need to mount those here somewhere. I'll probably do that in the next video. There's a few things that we learned that we want to maybe adjust a little bit from the last flight. So if we want to go ahead and start this thing up, we just got to turn that on, wait for this to cycle, which is really cool. Got my logo there too, which is cool. All right, so the keypad is cycling, that goes. All right, so now what we have is our AiM display, and you can see we have some things that are wired to the AiM. So the AiM is really cool because it can give me this CAN data that I can use in a lot of different places. So this operates via CAN, and then if I had an ECU that had CAN capabilities, I could actually plug the ECU via CAN bus directly into the AiM, and the AiM would be able to read all of these things. But I don't have that, so all of these sensors are either hardwired to the sensor, from the sensor to the AiM, or wired from the ECU output to the AiM. So like if it was a traditional, let's say my ECU is from like a Corvette, right? So if it was a traditional Corvette, the ECU would go to the instrument cluster, and the instrument cluster would display these things, and that's basically kind of how this is wired as well. So we have oil pressure, water temp. This is for my my propeller speed reduction unit, and that gives me the temperature on the oil inside of there. My oil temperature, you can kind of, what's really cool about this is you can see my water temp says 58, oil temp says 60, PSRU says 56. Those are all really close to each other, and it actually lines up with what the temperature is outside right now, because the temperature is right around 60 degrees where I'm at. So that's just kind of a cool thing that I like to check before I do anything. You can also see the EGTs are also right around that temperature, which is what it is outside. I got my fuel pressure on here, and then I can also change this screen. So I have different screen here. This tells me about all the different circuits. So if I have a circuit failure, it'll tell me on this screen right here. Sorry, we got a plane going by right now. All right, guys, my battery's at 1%. I'll catch up with you later. Check out my footage from LS Fest, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.